A few decades ago, companies could develop a 5-year strategy, a 10-year strategy, convert it to like a playbook, and then revisit it every few years to update it. So you kind of rinse and repeat. In this day and age, that model is no longer relevant. I've had the privilege of working with clients in Asia, Africa, Australia, North America, and Europe. And one of the most common things that I hear around the globe is that the pace of change that we see right now is unprecedented. Welcome back to Agile Growth with Shri, where CEOs and business owners find solutions to their most pressing challenges to growth. This is the 6th and final video in my 6-part series on the 5 most common strategy mistakes that I see with CEOs, business owners, and entrepreneurs. In my last video, I discussed the 4th mistake in strategy, which is the strategy is not translated into sustained and disciplined action. Let's now focus on the 5th mistake, which is lacking strategic agility. In this video, I'll do 3 things. I'll talk about the 5th mistake that I see. We'll get into why this happens, and I'll give you some ideas on what you can do about it. As you've heard me say before, your strategy will define where you play and how you will win, and you will do this by performing different activities from your competitors or performing similar activities in different ways. A few decades ago, companies could develop a 5-year strategy, a 10-year strategy, convert it to like a playbook, and then revisit it every few years to update it, so you kind of rinse and repeat. In this day and age, that model is no longer relevant. I've had the privilege of working with clients in Asia, Africa, Australia, North America, and Europe. And one of the most common things that I hear around the globe is that the pace of change that we see right now is unprecedented. We've always had change, but it's just that it's happening so much faster today than it used to be in the past. And when you think about what is the implication of this rapid pace of change on business strategy, it basically means that you have to be more agile. By being agile, I mean that you have to be more flexible, more responsive, more nimble, and more adaptable to the environment that you're operating in. Imagine you're a multi-generational family business. What worked for your grandparents or even for your parents may no longer apply to you. If agility does not become a core part of how you operate, you are at risk of becoming irrelevant. As Marshall Goldsmith would say in his famous book, "What got you here won't get you there." Let's see why this happens. I think there's a couple of different factors at play. As you've heard me in my earlier videos, many companies view strategy as something that is done once every few years or so. So it happens episodically. Also, many companies don't do enough to really identify the clear linkages between strategy and execution, which means that you don't have a good feedback loop. Another mistake that I found is CEOs don't do a good job of articulating their core assumptions as they build their strategy, which basically means that they have some blind spots because they don't fully understand if they're taking some things for granted, and they don't plan in terms of how they would respond if their initial plan doesn't go as per plan. Another thing that I've seen quite often is there's too much positive thinking or wishful thinking without an adequate recognition of the risks that are part of this journey. Here are a few steps that you can take to fix this mistake. Your strategy has to be an ongoing process where you're taking in new information from external sources such as competitors, customers, and marketplace. You also have to be regularly reviewing your internal capabilities and learning from that. And then finally, you have to constantly be analyzing your execution and have that as a feedback loop that feeds into your strategy. Essentially, your strategy has to be dynamic versus a static process. Another idea I would offer to you is doing a good pre-mortem analysis and risk management. So if you think about post-mortem, you do an analysis after the event. In pre-mortem, you actually take some time before the event and you're documenting all of your underlying assumptions. Imagine you're embarking on a journey, right, which is building your business, taking it to the next level. You're going to sit back and say, what are all the things that could go wrong because of which I'm not able to reach my destination? Now, some people can find this dreadful and say, why would you focus on the negative? The simple answer is you do that so that you're better prepared and you can make smarter decisions along the way. As my mom would say, hope for the best while you also prepare for the worst. Another approach that can be very valuable in gaining strategic agility is engaging in effective scenario planning. To put it in a simple way, think of at least 3 different scenarios, and you can think about the best case, the worst case, and the base case. To describe scenario planning, you're basically going to create multiple scenarios of how things can play out. So to begin with, at least think of 3 scenarios. Think about the base case, which is everything goes as per plan. The second case is the best case, where everything goes really well and it exceeds your expectations. And the third scenario is the worst case. What if a lot of things go bad and nothing goes as per plan and you're facing serious challenges? Doing such an exercise upfront will help keep you grounded and help you navigate the journey much more effectively. I really hope that you found this video and this entire series really valuable. Look out for future videos and strategy. Thank you for watching. Please leave your questions and feedback in the comment section below. See you in my next video series, which will be all about leadership. Until next time.